You are adapting to your leading edge place. You are understanding that you are source energy expressing here. That you are old, wise, genius creators. Here in what you see as the all-time best ever platform for creating. A place of contrast which stimulates your desire. A place in which you can focus. Focus, what a wonderful word. A place in which you, through your personality, through your perspective, from your place of selfish perspective, we like to throw that in because it is inevitable. You cannot help but see through the eyes of self. And so when the self that is you in this human personality observes from your very important perspective, you come to conclusions or preferences. And when you do, without even consciously knowing it, you generate a vibration that speaks to what your preference is. And that vibration that emits from you is a request that goes out to the source from which you have come. That summons current or energy and all manner of resources to you, the projector of the vibration. That's our way of saying what you say when you say, ask and it is given. The distinction that we like to make is that you are asking sometimes when you're not even using words. You are asking when you are perceiving. You are asking when you are concluding. Preferences are being born from you at all levels of your being. And every request, preference, desire, statement of intent is heard and answered. So, why are we all here together today? What is this art of allowing business about? Well, from our perspective, if you can come into conscious awareness of the vibration that is your desire, and then you will work, it really is what your work is, to align your day-to-day, moment-to-moment vibration with that vibration of your desire. Now you are a deliberate creator. Until you are doing it on purpose, you are a creator, but not necessarily a deliberate creator. You cannot help but create your experience because you cannot help but perceive, and you cannot help but offer preference, and you cannot help but offer a vibration. But until you are deliberately reaching for thought with the singular intent of finding thought that matches the vibration of your intent, the vibration of your source energy, the vibration of who you really are, then you cannot be deliberate. And there is a whole lot of creating by default going on all around you, maybe even in your own experience, because as you come into this environment, you become observers, which is a good thing. You become speculators, which is just fine, but most of you do not offer your thought vibration with any real intent of measuring it against something that is stable. And that stable thing that we're encouraging you to measure it against is your own desire, and the desire that comes forth from that which is you as source. So how do you go about doing that? Well, it's really a lot more simple than most people believe at first. Your emotions let you know what your vibrational content is. And the better you feel, the more you are in alignment with who you really are. The worse you feel, the more out of alignment you are in the moment of your feeling. So when you say, I would like to have more money, and you really mean it because your life experience has helped you to identify that there are many things that are life-giving in nature and just plain fun that you would like to do or have or be because of the money. When you say, I want more money, but then you are worried because you do not have enough money, you are not using your guidance system to bring yourself into alignment with your own desire. And the feeling of worry is your indicator that there is misalignment. That feeling of worry is the indicator that there is resistance within your vibrational stance. Meaning, you've got this vibration of desire going on. Contrast has helped you to identify it. You see your neighbor, or you see your friend, or you hear your sister, or you hear someone talking about the well-being that they're living in terms of money, and you want it too. You cannot help these desires to be born. You live in an environment where desires are naturally fostered. It is the way the entire universe is established. Everything is expanding. It is supposed to get better and better for you. It is a progressive universe. What you see is the launching pad for the new desire that is born. You cannot help but conclude constant new desires. Motion forward is the most natural nature of your being. So when you conclude a desire that is beyond where you stand, and it always is, it's the nature of the universe, you stand where you are, and that helps you to identify where you would like to go from here. So as you stand on this platform, having given birth to a new desire, but you don't match that desire with statements and comments and observations. Instead, you say, oh, I really need the money because I'm unhappy without it. Or I really need the money because these bad things will happen to me if I don't get the money. So what happens to you without even meaning to or often realizing it, you hold yourself in vibrational harmony with what is, while a part of you is asking for something else. And that's where discord comes in. That's what makes you say, oh, if only I could get rid of this desire. I was a lot happier before I knew I wanted that. But now I know that I want it, in the belief that I cannot have it, I am miserable. So can't you please, you say to anyone who will listen, can't you please help me to get rid of my desire? Can't you help me not want this so much? Can't you help me just be content with where I am? And we say, good luck on that one, because the entire universe is established in this progressive, forward-moving environment. We are eternal beings, which means we never get it done. We are an expanding universe, which means there will always be something more. And when you relax into the rhythm of that, that's when life really begins to become delicious for you. Now, we're not here to try to get you to fan the flames of your desire. We are not wanting you to want more than you want. We think it is wonderful when natural desire is born from the environment in which you are living. But what we are really encouraging is that you make a decision that you're going to pay more attention to the way that you feel, because the way you feel is your indication of what you're doing energy-wise. And as you begin to pay attention to how you feel, and you begin to deliberately modify what you are giving your attention to, you begin to deliberately modify not only what you are giving your attention to, but what you're saying about it, what you're thinking about it, who you're talking with about it. You begin to selectively sift through the environment that you are observing, or selectively sift through the past that you are remembering, or selectively sift through the future that you are anticipating, looking for thoughts that feel good while you think them. That's all there is to it, because if the thought that you are thinking feels good while you are thinking it, then there is no resistance within your vibration. And if there's no resistance within your vibration, then you are a match to the desires that you hold, and then you are in that moment in the state of allowing. The reason we call it the art of allowing is because you work at it like you do anything that becomes an art form. It is not something that happens without your directing of thought. And that's why we like the word focus so much. You get to direct your thought toward that which feels good. But rather than living in an environment where you say, I am a deliberate thinker, it is so much easier if you will say, it is important to me that I feel good. Because when you say, it is important to me that I feel good, you will be more likely to gravitate toward the thoughts that feel good, and therefore the thoughts that are allowing of all things that you consider to be good, than if you say, I'm going to think my way there. Because when you say, I'm going to think my way there, what often happens is you say, I'm not going to think that thought that I'm thinking. That is an inappropriate thought. In other words, I think I'll sort all the thoughts out, and I will find the right ones and the wrong ones, and then the wrong ones, that pile over there, I'm not going to think about that pile anymore. In fact, I'm going to make a list of those that I'm not going to think about, and I'm going to remind myself often that I'm not going to think about them. and as I really get clear about what I'm not going to think about, then I won't think about this thought, this pile of thoughts that I'm not going to think about, because it's inappropriate to think about these thoughts. Over here. There are a lot of people thinking those thoughts, you say. A lot of them. They shouldn't be thinking them, but they are thinking them. And they're detrimental to their experience as they think about those thoughts that they should not think about. And so I'm not going to think about them. In fact, I'm going to join a club about not thinking about those thoughts. There are a lot of people that will join me in my protest against those thoughts. And as we gather together in our resources and numbers, pushing very diligently against those thoughts, eventually we will eradicate those thoughts. Eventually we will eliminate that pile of thought. Did you see it? That pile of thought. We will eventually get rid of that pile of thought. And we say, not going about it in that way, you won't. Because in every moment that you are giving any attention to anything, you are including it in your vibration. So that's what goes wrong with wanting something that doesn't seem to come to you. There is this sort of human tendency to justify the new result that you are looking for by fanning the flames of what's wrong with where you stand. And we think that you got that early on when you went to your mother or your father, still believing that they were the vortex through which all your well-being flowed. And we acknowledge in the beginning it sort of looked that way. So as you want something that you do not have, you discovered early on, most of you, with most of your parents and guardians, that if you would plead a pretty good case of need, you were more likely to get it than if you just wanted it. So you got really good at pointing out how badly you needed things. So that even today, in your prayers to that which you call God, in your requests from the universe, you're still without meaning to sort of pleading your case from a place of need. And what we're wanting you to understand is that that place of need is vibrationally resistant to the desire. You cannot be in a place of justifying why you want something by pushing against whatever the lack is and be a vibrational match to what you want. And the way you can tell when you're doing that is by paying attention to the way you feel. When you are in sync with what you want, it's a life-giving feeling. It feels like adventure. It feels like, oh boy, is this ever going to be fun as it unfolds. It feels like anticipation. It feels like enthusiasm. But if you are thinking about something that you want and it feels like worry, or it feels sort of hopeless, or you feel overwhelmed by the idea of it, or you don't believe you can do it, or you feel sort of suffocated by where you are, those negative emotions are the indicator that you are fanning the flames of a desire that you are not vibrationally up to speed with. So the art of allowing is really only about, it's such a simple thing when you get your thoughts around it. It's only about aligning the energy within you. It's not about understanding what anybody else wants. It's not about getting them to agree with what you want. You could be on a committee of 100 people, and 99 of them could be bickering and squabbling and wanting something that you don't want. And you could be one person on the committee who could think about what you want, ignore the committee, focus every day upon what you want and why you want it, not let them get your goat, not push against them, and you could achieve such pure vibrational harmony with your own desire that the universe would yield it to you easily, with the other 99 scrambling around even trying to do something different than what you want. Because when you align with your desire, universal forces deliver it to you, and nobody else in all of the universe has anything to say about it. But if you look at another member on the committee and you worry about their influence or about their power or about their stupid decision, and as you focus upon what they're doing, now your vibration isn't pure anymore because you've got what they're doing all mixed in with your vibration. And now you're not a vibrational match to your own desire, and you're blaming them. You're saying, it's because there's 99 of them and only one of me. That's why they win. And we say, no, they're not winning and making you lose. You're just not letting in what you want because you've got their energy mixed in with your vibration.